And we are back live from Moody Gardens here in Galveston, Texas, at the 2022 Texas High School Soccer Coaches Convention. We are now joined by a reigning state champion, the 4A women's soccer head coach of the Celina Bobcats, Coach Alexander Adams. Coach, how are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Hey,
Appreciate you having me on.
lucky to have you here. We're glad to have you here. Glad to have you on here again, right? And
Yes,
making
sir.
a return trip. You're our returning champion.
Yes,
So,
sir.
how's it going, man? Tell us how it's going over the last day and a half or so.
Good, good. This actually has been the first time that I've been back here, since the COVID era.
Right.
And I couldn't be any happier to be here. The camaraderie of seeing coaches that you've seen throughout the years. We're all starting to look a little older.
Yeah.
Stomach's starting to look a little bigger, but in all seriousness, it's been a blast to be here. I couldn't have been any happier to finally get back here, and I really feel that this is something that's been missing.
Mhm.
Because prior to whenever all that stuff went down, I was here every year,
Right.
and I can't tell you the amount of not only just networking, but the experience of getting to see different coaches that have coached at different levels, from professional all the way up to, state champion high school coaches, and picking their brains and being able to have access to that kind of coaching talent is something that is unprecedented, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. And you kind of alluded to it there a little bit, but tell us what's been the vibe? What have you picked up? What's been the vibe that you've picked up from TASCO 2022?
I think it's been great. I think a lot of people kind of identified with like me and realized like, hey, it's time to get back, because I think I just saw an email a little bit ago that this year was the highest number of pre-registered coaches they'd had in a while.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody's excited. That every seat in the house is filled up and there's people still standing, on the sides. That I think that it's generated a new sense of hey, let's get down and do this together as a coaching group, and I think it's been great.
Yeah, and the numbers, as I understand them, that this was as of this morning, was over 800 plus pre-registered attendees. Then you do the math, a couple hundred more on site, and I think the number was over 1,100 attendees, somewhere about there. But that was also this morning. So, and I know, and there were still people registering this morning. So yeah. So kudos to the entire TASCO staff for making it happen, because I know being invited here and being able to cover the event, I've gotten to see a lot of things behind the scenes, and I know there's certain things that a lot of people think just happen, but trust me, there's a lot of people putting in the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I agree, and you can tell that that they've really tried to make sure that they've catered it to the high school coach experience.
Yeah,
that they really try to make sure to show these coaches out here that they're here to try to make everybody better. And this year's the lineup of coaches, in my experience, has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. What's been the best for you so far?
I personally like the FC Cincinnati coach,
Doug Elder.
Yeah. He's been awesome. I think his knowledge was definitely something that was great. The one youth national team goalie coach.
Yeah.
I can't remember his
name.
I
know you. Yeah, we were talking about referencing him earlier, but yeah, we'll have to come back to it.
But he was also another one that, and that's right there is two professional guys that are at the highest level, in this country, or here, taking time out of their schedule to come and help get high school coaches better. And I think that's TASCO trying to go out and reach out to these guys to try to get quality people in here to get us better. And I couldn't invest for anything better.
Yeah. Now, from the vendor perspective, give us a little bit of insight. Has there been anything you've seen that has kind of had you like, wow, that's pretty cool, I hadn't seen that before? Anything pop out?
Yeah, well, I know that the new tracking system that they have. I can't remember what the company name is, but how they're, that tracks all the amount of feet that they've covered, in training and calories burned and all that. That's, I think, something that, is something that soccer's going to the future, that's going to be, at some point probably expected for every coach,
right.
just because it seems like, as time goes on, the expectation for the knowledge of our athletes is starting to become higher and higher.
Right.
It's no longer just, hey, can they run a mile? And I think with the parents taking kids to, private sessions, and all these private coaches have different metrics that they use to measure their success in training. And I think training's starting to become more and more scientific.
Yeah.
And that's why I think things like that are starting to pop up in the sports market are eventually going to be kind of the norm someday.
Yeah. The science piece is definitely growing. I mentioned in a previous podcast that I had about a month ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago, I had oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Jack Stewart from Beyond Pulse, had him on the podcast, and he was talking about how what is happening now is one of the pieces of data, in addition to film, that's being requested by college coaches when available, is some of that biometric data, right? From organizations like Beyond Pulse, when they can offer it, when programs, club programs can offer it, it is now being requested along with film. So that is, it's in its infancy stage, but that is definitely where we're headed.
And that's the company, that's Beyond Pulse. That's the one, that guys that are out there. And I kind of feel like that's the future, just because I think more and more of this stuff has become available to the regular Joe, and I think, when you get more of that stuff accessible to parents and athletes, it's going to become, pretty standard for coaches to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Biggest surprise in this year's convention?
Let's see. Biggest surprise, I guess, the tech ball. That, I've seen the stuff on the internet about all the new, professional groups that are popping up. Never seen it in person. So that was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. Did you get to see that tournament at all last night?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. And again, some of the presenters is definitely, something that I was surprised to see that they've got the really up the quality of the presenters.
Yeah.
Not to take back away from any of the past conventions, but I really feel that they're now trying to mix up different presenters and not have the same guys there. Every year, and you can tell that they're trying to do better, and they've had the presenters they've had this year have been phenomenal.
Yeah. So tell us, for the coach that's out there, right? I've been asking this everybody that's been here this year. Coach that maybe hasn't been here in a long time, or has never been here, or has often considered as to, is it worth me being a TASCO member? Is it worth me attending the convention? Because for the life of me, I don't know why you would be a member and not attend the convention, right? But I think that person that has been thinking about it, has been on the fence in terms of membership or pushing the button and coming here to convention. Why do they need to be here in 2023?
I mean, I really think that again, that they're really trying their best to make the experience of a high school coach, become, I guess, as elite as possible here. That they really want to make sure that whenever coaches leave this convention, that they've learned stuff that they can actually use that's practical,
right,
in their training. And I really think that they're doing that. And then plus, not only that, but just the access to the session planner that you get through the membership alone. I mean, I get on that thing all the time. I've started, used to. I have all my session plans. I got notebook after notebook, everything drawn out, and it just got to be kind of ridiculous. And so I've started to kind of convert my stuff to the session planner software, and that's something that we get free just for becoming a member. So and that means you have access to all those session plans that are out there.
Right.
So that alone, even if you think that the membership's not worth it, that alone is worth getting it. But then there's also the piece of being able to nominate your kids for the different awards at the end of the year, and that's a huge thing for me. I know in my community, that's something that parents really look forward to is that stuff, and that's another thing that's important. And with the convention again, when you've already seen record numbers here this year, I think that right there is telling itself that this is something that works, and they need to get here and experience it. Because I think once you get here, just like I did my first time when I came here, I didn't know what to expect, and I got here the first time and left just blown away about the amount of stuff that not only you can learn here, but also the amount of coaches that were here and the different networking that you can do here. And you never know, you may run into somebody that may be somebody you work with someday.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. And one of the things that has stood out to me in over the last day and almost 2 days is how many coaches have been telling me just looking forward to being able to be around other soccer people, other soccer coaches, right? Just the social aspect of being able to be around each other again, right? I think we took it for granted previously. So yeah, there's something to be said about that as well. And we start to transition here, Coach. We look ahead, it's right around the corner, November 28th, start of your officially in season. You are now the big dog. You are now you've climbed the mountaintop, right? You played in what I was talking about actually in last night's social to a couple of coaches in what I deemed the game of the year last year, right? In that 4A girls state final between you all and Midlothian Heritage, a phenomenal match. Now, right? How do you get over that part, right? To make sure that it doesn't become the 2022 glory does not become the 2023 hangover, if you will, right? How do you prepare, and what can we look forward to this 2023 Celina squad?
I think that's going to be the hardest part is to keep kids hungry. That I think young athletes, they have a tendency that once they've reached that plateau of we've done it, they can't see that there's still more mountain to climb. And I think that as a coach, that's probably going to be my biggest role to fill this year is to be, how do I keep my kids motivated to understand that every game you're getting 100% of that other team's.
Yeah, you're getting everyone's best shot.
Yeah, because they want to take down the champ, know, and there's a lot of teams out there that that we beat on the way to the state championship that probably can't wait to see us on the schedule again. And I know Henderson's one of those teams. I know Bernie darn sure wants us again because of what happened with them getting their star girl knocked out there.
Right.
And that we're going to get everybody's effort, and it's going to take a total dedication to buying into what it is that we're going to try to accomplish again. To be humble and understand that there's always going to be room to get better, and to go out there and make sure that we're on every night, because if we're not, we're gonna lose, and we're not going to be able to do what we want to accomplish this year. Yeah, for sure. So he is Coach Alexander Adams, the head varsity women's soccer coach of the defending 4A state champion Celina Bobcats. Coach, before we let you go, as usually what we do, as is customary with our guests, we give we kind of let you have a final word, shout out, thank yous, final thoughts, whatever's on your mind. But before we do that, I want to ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot with this question. It's worthy of a state champion. Okay. Is the 2023 Celina women's soccer season will be a success if we can score goals. Really, I mean, I say that in the sense of it's soccer. Of course, that's what you do. But losing a player like Taylor, is a big, that's a big loss. And how do we make up? How do we account for 40-something goals that was scored last season?
Right.
And that's going to be our what we need to figure out is, can we, find a way to score those goals again, because we've got pretty much the entire team coming back.
And you do have a dynamic goalkeeper between the pipes, right? So that's going to help you. That's going to help you. Yeah.
So that's what I was about to say, is that with our back line, our keepers is solid, and really that's what it's going to come down to, is can we figure it out in the midfield and forward. We're going to try a new formation this year and see how it works. So
yeah, awesome. We'll be looking forward to it for sure. So, all right, as we alluded to earlier, the floor is yours, Coach. Any final thoughts? Like I said, shout outs, thank yous, anything. The floor is yours.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you for having me here. A big fan. So make sure you guys keep listening to this guy, because he's really representing Texas high school soccer in a way that's unprecedented, and I hope that that all the coaches out there recognize that and appreciate it.
Appreciate that, Coach. Thank you.
Celina, want to let you guys know that we're going to do whatever we can to get this thing back again, and I want to let all the soccer community out there that we're looking forward to the season, and if we compete against you guys this season, I wish you guys the best of luck and health, and hope that everybody comes out well in the end, and we all have a great season.
Well said. Well said. Awesome. Again, Coach, thank you. We appreciate your time. Great. You already know we're big fans of what you're doing down there in your program, both your men's and women's program. So we wish you the absolute best of luck in 2023. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time, and don't go anywhere. We'll be coming back to you with more content, live footage, live interviews here from TASCO 22, the TASCO convention, Texas High School Soccer Coaches Convention, from beautiful Moody Gardens here in Galveston, Texas.